Hi and welcome to the Martin and Rosa Ewell Oklahoma Legacy video. This is a view of downtown Sioux City. This is the city where Martin and Rosa spent most of their adult life at, and this is really probably a good starting point to where the Oklahoma story begins. It was here that Martin thought of homesteading in Oklahoma and also subsequently New Mexico. And it was from here that he dispatched his sons to do the homesteading for him. But first, I'll give you a view of 5011 Morningside Avenue. That's in an area of Morningside, a suburb of Sioux City. And it's where Martin and Rosa lived. And from there, we will go to Oklahoma. Here is 5011 Morningside Avenue. This was the home for Martin and Rosa Ewell. Martin actually built this house, and they both lived there till their deaths. Ironically, not too far on South Cypress was his son Mike Ewell, who he lived at the end of his life, and also on South Lemon Street, his youngest son Ray Ewell lived near this home, and that was also the last place he lived before he passed away. So there's a bit of significance of this neighborhood for all of us. Here's a view of the house where Martin and Rosa lived, and the intent was build a house as far back in the yard as possible, and Martin would build a much larger house, but that never came to fruition. Here's the back side of Martin and Rosa's house, 5011 Morningside Avenue. So there you have a little Ewell history for 5011 Morningside Avenue where Martin and Rosa lived. And now we'll take the journey to Oklahoma. Here we are at the county line for Custer County. We're almost there. We've almost, we got Arapahoe, Butler, and then we will get over to our land, our mineral rights at the Foss Lake or Foss Reservoir. Well, our journey has got us to Custer County Courthouse, Arapahoe, Oklahoma. This is the county seat for Custer County. Here's where I will look at any records that might be on our mineral rights here in Custer County. Here is Main Street, Arapahoe, Oklahoma. Not much here. There's a post office, a couple older buildings. Just a handful of buildings. Pretty small town for a county seat. Not a whole lot here. Our journey now takes us to Butler, Oklahoma. Butler's is another smaller town. It's a quaint place. This looks like it's like the city hall or something here. And it's here's a little sign here that points to the Foss Dam and the Washita Basin project, which was directly affecting our land, our mineral rights. This was done in started the idea, the planning in the late 50s and finished like in 60, 61. Here's just a roving shot of the highway going through Butler. Just pretty much pretty quiet town. Not much going here anymore. Okay, this is the first view for any of us. This is from the road. This is road access. And here are the signs that the intersection of kind of the corner of our land, our mineral rights. There's actually almost a grove, kind of a tree line here that I would almost guess was planted at some point, trying to mark off the section itself, maybe create some sort of boundary. And in the distance is the reservoir, and there you can see a lot of sandy beach area. That would be the land above our mineral rights. Part of our land is underwater, which not much though. I think we got quite a bit of it here in the land portion. And I'm going to go for a little hike. This is a view from maybe 100 or so yards off the road in a clearing. A lot of grass, a lot of tall grass, a lot of fallen trees in this little grove area. That's the road where I shot the initial videos, where those two tall trees are in the background there. Here's kind of a shot of right near me here is still a grove of trees and bushes and shrubbery and stuff, and up ahead I'm going to walk out near, or as far as I can, to the water just to get kind of a view. Looks like they must have a lot of deer, wildlife that kind of goes through here. I've been following some of their paths through the grass. Here's a little further from, walked up towards kind of an opening here, and it looks like this was at some point like a shoreline perhaps, where it just drops off. For where I'm standing, it's and the ground is rather scattered with some weeds and brush, not like what I just walked through. It is a windy day today. Actually, the wind has died down almost to, it's like as if it just opened a window for me. Somewhat of a basin, I guess, if you want to call it. Kind of at one point was water, and it has receded. I don't know for how long of time, but this is kind of some of our mineral rights that I guess you could say has been reclaimed by the land. So we'll keep walking, kind of keep checking things out. Here's from quite a ways from the other shot in the basin. I'm standing out in it, and like I said earlier, breeze is still there, but considerably less than what it was. What I wanted to show you is the shells. There are all kinds of seashells that are littered all over this red sand. There are tiny shells, there are some big shells. Kind of interesting at this reservoir that there are so many shells in this basin area that I'm walking through. And just kind of not what I expected to see. And here, a little better place, but you see this basin area is just sand. All it is just orange sand all over in this basin area. There's and it's just kind of a brush, if you will, for what has grown up in this area, and I'm guessing it's been dry here for quite a while, quite some time. So let's keep hiking, and let's check out, see what else we find. Some of that is our ground under that water, I believe. Anyway, we got 80 acres here, and I probably have only walked about 5. There's a lot of ground that is, I should say, I guess a lot of our mineral rights are above ground or above water. It's about mid-afternoon, midday, about 3:30. Okay, I'm standing from the satellite photos, this would be kind of what looks like a riverbed, or at least the mouth of a river from the satellite pictures. And just basically dry. I mean, it's just weeded. Right where I'm at is flat grass. This must be a place actually for animals bedding down, deer, I presume. And anyway, this is kind of what would be on the satellite from the sky photo. It would be what looks like kind of a riverbed or mouth of like a stream or something, which is just all completely dry. As I pointed out before, there are just a multitude of shells here. They're just like in pockets all over the place here. Really large ones. I mean, they're like regular seashells with these little, then there's just like tiny ones just sprinkled all over the place. They're just, I'm walking all over them everywhere here in this like basin. It's just really unexpected, and all of where I'm standing in this basin is just an orange sand. I'm looking to try to get over to another ridge and look back at everything here. From a ridge that I'm standing on now, I have crossed all the way over from where these red banks, these red clay banks are. I've come across, it's actually quite a distance. As you can see from where I'm at, the road is way out there. This is really actually the only paths I can kind of walk is some of the slow-lying grass, because otherwise this tall grass is really, really thick in places. I'm just kind of following animal paths, areas that they got their trails, and places where they bed down apparently. So, and behind me is the thick brush. I've got a few openings that I'm kind of following through the ground here, or grasslands, but otherwise it's almost impassable, the thickness of this brush. And it's probably about 7 feet tall, actually. I mean, it's really tall stuff, and it's thick. So the animals have figured a way to kind of create their paths, and I'm trying to do the path of least resistance here, just to kind of get around. Hope you enjoyed the tour. And I hope Martin and Rosa are looking down and smiling, laughing.